The wind howled across the desolate Arctic landscape as Dr. Judith Mossman tightened her coat around her, trudging through the knee-deep snow. Her breath came out in visible puffs, crystallizing in the cold air. She had traveled far, following the vague coordinates that had haunted her thoughts for years. Coordinates that led to the ghost of a ship that had vanished without a trace, and now she stood before it. Half buried in snow and ice, the immense metallic hull loomed ahead, a relic of forgotten science. The entrance was barely visible, obscured by frost and decades of harsh weather. With a grunt, Judith managed to pry open a heavy steel door, its rusty hinges groaning in protest. The interior was dark, except for the dim light of her headlamp cutting through the gloom. Each step echoed eerily, reverberating through empty corridors as she made her way deeper into the bowels of the ship. The further she went, the more the ship's secrets began to reveal themselves. Strange, flickering screens, wires running across the walls, and odd machinery, the likes of which she had never seen before. Judith paused in front of a large, reinforced door. It looked different, more important somehow. She took a deep breath and pushed it open. Inside, a cavernous room stretched before her, filled with towering machines. At the center stood a massive cylindrical device, something that looked like it belonged in a science fiction movie. She approached cautiously, her eyes widening as she began to realize what she was seeing. This was teleportation technology, far more advanced than anything she had ever seen, even at Black Mesa. Panels of alien symbols and Aperture logos adorned the machinery, hinting at a collaboration of knowledge that crossed boundaries once thought impossible. Suddenly, a noise echoed from deeper within the room, a soft hum that gradually grew louder. Judith's eyes darted around, her heart pounding in her chest. The machinery began to activate, lights flickering on as if the ship itself had awakened in response to her presence. She felt the ground shudder beneath her feet, and for a moment, she feared she had triggered something catastrophic. The hum grew louder, resonating through the metal structure, and the lights intensified. It felt as though the entire ship was holding its breath. Judith's gaze was drawn to the control panel, partially covered in frost. With trembling hands, she wiped away the snow and grime, revealing a series of letters, one by one. As the residue cleared, the name slowly came into view, etched into the cold metal, as clear as day: Borealis. Imagine a ship so powerful it could change the fate of humanity. A ship lost to time, hidden away in the frozen Arctic, the Borealis, a name that had become a beacon of hope and a symbol of fear, something both the Combine and the Resistance want, but also dread. What secrets does the Borealis hold, and why is it the key to defeating the Combine? We're taking a look at what makes the Borealis so important, its origins, its potential, and why it might be the secret weapon humanity needs to turn the tide against the Combine. The Borealis has been at the center of countless theories and speculation since it was first mentioned. It's not just about what the ship can do, but also what it represents, a point where science, ambition, and the need to push boundaries intersected. Aperture Science, known for taking extreme risks, built something that could either save humanity or lead to its destruction. And now the Combine are desperate to get their hands on it. To get a sense of why the Borealis matters, we need to dive into its past, the purpose it was built for, and how it vanished without a trace, only to become a ghost story among those fighting the Combine's tyranny. We need to understand why Eli Vance was so determined to see it destroyed, and why others think it could be humanity's best shot at victory. Aperture Science, the same folks behind the crazy portal technology, decided to go bigger, way bigger. The Borealis was their attempt at pushing the boundaries of teleportation tech. They wanted something groundbreaking, something that would leave Black Mesa in the dust. But in their rush to get ahead, they cut corners. Safety protocols? Yeah, not really a priority for them. And that's how we end up with a ship that mysteriously vanishes, taking part of its dry dock with it. This wasn't just about making something cool. Aperture was trying to cement their legacy. They wanted to create something that would put them miles ahead of Black Mesa in the race for scientific superiority. The Borealis was supposed to be that achievement, but instead, it ended up becoming a legend of what happens when ambition goes unchecked. Strange malfunctions, unpredictable experiments, and eventually, poof, gone. And all that's left are the questions and the fear of what exactly they created. But let's not forget why this ship was so important in the first place. Aperture Science wasn't just experimenting with teleportation. They were trying to achieve something that would revolutionize transport and defense. Imagine entire cities relocated, military bases moved at the push of a button. The Borealis was their ultimate play to control teleportation on an unprecedented scale, which is why its sudden disappearance was so haunting, not just for Aperture, but for anyone who knew what they were up to. The disappearance of the Borealis is one of the biggest mysteries in the Half-Life universe. Judith Mossman, a key figure in the Resistance, was relentless in her search for it. She found it in the Arctic, but before she could relay everything she discovered, the Combine intercepted her transmission. We get just enough to know that there was something huge, something game-changing aboard that ship. But then, nothing. The Borealis became this haunting reminder of how things can go wrong when you're messing with tech you don't fully understand. And this disappearance isn't just an isolated incident, it becomes a symbol, a cautionary tale. Judith Mossman's incomplete message shows that even years later, the pursuit of the Borealis drives people to incredible lengths. The Combine's interception of her signal hints at a larger power struggle over what the Borealis holds, and it leaves us with a chilling thought. What if this powerful piece of lost tech ends up in the wrong hands yet again? Here is the clip of the transmission from Dr. Judith Mossman. It also entails a clip from Entropy 02, which is a community-made mod for Half-Life 2, where you command a small army of Combine synths and soldiers on a northern campaign to capture her. So you're kind of playing the other side. Here's the interesting clip.
If it were discovered by the Combine, we need to take a close look at it, of course, but I should be able to give a better opinion within a few hours. If the site is where we think it is, then it should be no more than... I'm going to cut you short. We may have been spotted.
She's getting away.
Where the hell is
The rivalry between Aperture Science and Black Mesa is really what sets the stage for the Borealis. Aperture wasn't just trying to innovate, they were trying to outdo Black Mesa at any cost. The Borealis was supposed to be Aperture's crowning achievement, their proof that they were better, smarter, and more ambitious, but instead it vanished, leaving behind nothing but rumors, fragments of data, and a lot of questions. Aperture's obsession with surpassing Black Mesa ultimately led them to reckless innovation. They gambled everything to win, without fully considering the consequences, and this rivalry, this constant need to one-up Black Mesa, resulted in more than just a missing ship. It revealed just how far these corporations were willing to go, even if it meant playing with forces that could unravel everything. The Borealis was proof of that ambition, and the consequences of that ambition are still rippling through the universe. The Combine's obsession with the Borealis goes beyond just wanting another piece of tech. They understand that the Borealis contains something powerful, something dangerous. We're talking about teleportation on a scale way beyond handheld portal devices. This ship could teleport away from an Aperture facility, dry dock and all, which is insane. The Combine see this and realize that if they could figure it out, they can reconnect with their overworld, bring in reinforcements, and basically flood Earth with more of their armies. For the Combine, the Borealis isn't just an opportunity, it's an unfinished chapter. They are constantly pushing to perfect their domination of Earth, and the teleportation tech on the Borealis could be their missing link. The Combine have already perfected a lot of otherworldly tech, but this ship represents something they can't replicate yet, a way to move freely, without limits, instantly. Getting that kind of power changes everything. It's not just about control, it's about closing the chapter of Earth's resistance, once and for all. Teleportation tech isn't just cool, it's a complete game changer. The Borealis represents a level of teleportation we haven't seen anywhere else. This isn't just about opening a portal from point A to point B, we're talking about making an entire ship vanish. Aperture science was pushing boundaries that even the Combine haven't fully mastered yet. The Resistance has a real problem on their hands when it comes to the Borealis. On one side, you've got people like Eli Vance, who believe that the ship is just too dangerous. He thinks it needs to be destroyed before it falls into the wrong hands, especially the Combine. For him, the risks far outweigh the benefits. He knows firsthand what happens when you mess with forces you can't control. He lived through Black Mesa. The horrors of that incident are etched into his memory, and the idea of repeating something like that with the Borealis terrifies him. Eli is haunted by what he saw and lost during Black Mesa, and he fears the Borealis could be the catalyst for an even bigger disaster. His determination to destroy the ship isn't just about caution, it's about protecting humanity from repeating the same mistakes that nearly wiped them out. This division within the Resistance is what makes the Borealis so fascinating. It's not just a ship, it's a symbol of what could be. It represents the choice between caution and daring action. Eli Vance wants to destroy it to prevent another tragedy, but Judith Mossman and others are willing to take that risk for a shot at freedom. It's a gamble that has no clear outcome, and that uncertainty keeps everyone guessing, which makes the Borealis one of the most important pieces in this chess game against the Combine. Now, since there's so much unknown about the Borealis, naturally comes along a bunch of fan theories. Now, the most two discussed fan theories are that either the Combine get this for their master plan of using its teleportation technology as a bridge to reconnect with their overworld, or the Resistance uses it as their trump card, to use it not as a traditional weapon, but by using its technology to operate under the radar of the Combine, and the Resistance could use the ship to move critical bases, relocate key personnel, or launch surprise operations. It would make the Resistance more agile, allowing them to strike and disappear before the Combine even realized what happened. This theory portrays the Borealis as less of a doomsday device and more as a strategic tool that could allow the Resistance to level the playing field. It also explains why figures like Judith Mossman were so intent on locating the ship. To the Resistance, gaining control of the Borealis might mean having a legitimate shot at winning the war, or at least surviving a bit longer against overwhelming odds. Some even suggest that the Borealis could be a trap, something Aperture Science left behind intentionally to lure in anyone reckless enough to seek its power. Maybe the ship was never meant to be found, and whatever lies aboard could be something far worse than what the other side is prepared to handle. The truth is, the Borealis is as much as a question as it is a potential answer, and it's this uncertainty that makes it such a pivotal part of the Half-Life universe. The Borealis is out there, somewhere, a ticking time bomb waiting to be found. Whether it is a blessing or a curse to those who found it is still a mystery. Both the Resistance and the Combine are aware of what's at stake, and neither side is willing to give up the chance to control it. Whatever happens next, the Borealis is going to be pivotal. It's not just about winning or losing, it's about what kind of future humanity wants to build when faced with unimaginable power. Now, I myself have many theories about the Borealis, which will be coming out in future videos, so stay tuned for that. I want to thank you for watching this video. Your support means a lot. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you're feeling nice enough. Alright, bye bye.